Hello, welcome to a new reading vlog. So I just got back from a week's holiday in Swansea, which was really good. I didn't do a whole lot of reading when I was there because I was just, enjoying my time with my mum, and we were on the beach a lot, but it was quite windy, so the pages would just flap in the wind. I did continue my read of episode 13, which I don't think I've mentioned I've started yet. So I was reading episode 13 by Craig DeLuey. I got to about page 150 before I DNF'd, because explain to me why I was on page 150 and nothing had happened. Like, nothing. And I'd read reviews saying that the book got off to a really good start and then it tailed off near the end and got quite boring. If I'm finding it boring at the beginning, which is supposed to be the interesting part, I'm not continuing to the boring part. And it's about ghost hunting anyway, which isn't really my thing. And the format of the book is in like journal clippings, like documentary little screenplays and stuff, and once again that's not really my thing. So I think it was just a combination, and it just didn't do the book service, and I'm not going to continue it. Also, this isn't an issue with like the content of the book, but the edition I had, I don't know if this is all like paperback editions, but the texture on the cover of my edition of episode 13 was horrifying. Like, I hated holding the book. So I'm not going to go through that for a book that's not worth it, in my eyes. Like, it was just a horrible feeling. Moving on to better news, I've started reading the book that is just everywhere at the minute, and that is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I managed to get this on my holiday in Swansea. I went, because everywhere locally to me, Fourth Wing has just been sold out everywhere. But when I went to the Waterstones in Swansea, there was 4 copies. So I got one for myself and one for my friend Travis, because we've been struggling to find it. So we made an agreement. Whoever found it first, we would just buy a copy for the other person and just send it to them. This sticker will be coming off, but I'm too scared to take it off yet. So on my holiday, I started reading this, and I already got to like page 150 in the short time I had, because I am loving this. This is well up my street. I love like competition death games kind of plot, which is in all of my favourite like media, like Battle Royale, Hunger Games, Squid Game, stuff like that, Alice in Borderland. And this isn't quite the same, but it gives me the same vibe, because there's such dangerous trials in this that people do die. I love that the main character's name is Violet, because I love the name Violet. Violet is my favourite scent ever, and I love the flower. Like, my new tattoo I got, I was going to get some violet flowers like worked in, but it didn't really work with the design I had, so I might get some violets tattooed with another design, but I just love that she's called Violet. How to handle a corset. I bet you do. I've just finished reading the chapter on the threshing where the dragon riders to be are chosen by their dragon, and that was an intensely gripping scene. And when you're sat there thinking about the douches that are potential riders and you're going, please just fry them, and then in some cases they actually get fried, it's a winning moment. But the end of the chapter so to prove you've been bonded with a dragon, only the dragon and the rider knows the dragon's full name. So they've got to say the name of the dragon that they've bonded with to prove that they've bonded. And the end of that chapter where Violet has to announce the name of the dragon shook. I absolutely loved that. It was such a good moment. Also, Xaden, I'm hoping that's how you say his name, the love interest. Him not being able to interfere with the threshing because he's a senior and you're not allowed to get involved, that's the rules. Him showing up and just giving a running commentary and just standing there, being I'm not involved, but I can narrate. I love that. What king? The more and more that Dane speaks, the more that I dislike him. Fuck off with your opinion. No one cares. Let her do what she wants. Stop undermining her. At first it was a cute protective vibe, and then it quickly wore off, and now it's just go away. No one wants you here, go away. So something just happened, and there's a trial, and Xaden just believes Violet. She says who the perpetrator was, the one that didn't get caught, and he just instantly believes her. And then Dane, the little brat, he will not believe her at all. He is so bogged down with his rules and what should happen that he cannot believe his own best friend that he has known since childhood. I can't stand him. But then there's a way that they prove who it was, and she's believe me now, wonder why I didn't tell you. I love this. Let's keep shitting on Dane. Violet telling Dane to get lost and stop treating her like a little weakling was just what I needed. Take him down a peg or two. And her being the reason we'll never be more than friends isn't because of your rules, it's because of who you are. Perfection. Also, we've just had a scene where Violet's in danger and Xaden comes in to rescue her, and there's his caring creeping out. I love it. Excuse while my kettle boils because I want a cup of tea, as always. But I also want to say I love the different personalities of the dragons. I know we don't get all of them because we only get the thoughts and actual speech and thoughts of the different dragons that are presented to us, which is only a few, but they all have different personalities. They all sound and feel different. Obviously we can get that they look different for their colours and their ferocity, but I like that they just feel like other characters. They don't feel like the pets. They don't feel like the animal side character. They feel like fully fledged characters of their own, and I really appreciate that because they are a big backbone of the story, and it's really highlighted that the dragons make their own decision. It's not the humans in charge, it's the dragons, and I love that. Okay, I was waiting for Violet and her sister Mira to be reunited because her older sister just seems awesome, and I feel like Violet really needed that reuniting. But my favourite thing of the reuniting scene is her, like, basically telling Dane to get his head out of his ass. She was like, you know, why are you, like, sacrificing the position you so clearly want and have worked at all your life just because, you know, she's now got a connection with Xaden. I'm not going to give the actual, like, what's happening because spoilers. But she was basically like, you guys have been best friends since you were fucking 5 years old. Get a grip. And I love that for her. It's a shame we haven't seen her more. I understand why, but she's a badass. But I know this series is, Rebecca Yarros has confirmed it's going to be 5 books long. So more Mira content, please, in the future. I'm on page 444 because I'm just like binging this, and the drama, the reveals, everything. Like, I'm a bit worried because I barely have anything left, and I know everyone's been saying that they've like aren't in the mood to read any books after they finish this because they're just in like a book hangover for like the next one and they don't want to read anything else, and I know that's what everyone feels, but I'm worried because I'm going to be in the same boat and I don't want this to end. I literally was on page 150 earlier. I've just been like powering through this today. This is like all I've been doing. I've had a to-do list of the day that's been thrown out the window, but I'm just going to power through the rest of this book. That ending, I love it, but I also want the next book, like right now, just like pretty much everyone else in the world. More thoughts in the morning because it is 1 a.m. It's the next morning and first order of business, I took the sticker off. I braved it. It was actually really easy. I didn't ruin my book. I forgot to say, when I was lucky to find this, I forgot to say another bit of my luck is that I had some money off with my Waterstones membership card. So it came to £24 in total, which means, because I got 2 copies, I got one for me and one for Travis, that split, we each got our edition of Fourth Wing for £12. Like, that's insane. Like, we didn't even think we would get a copy of the book, let alone not pay an arm and a leg for it. So I just thought I'd share that little nugget. So I finished it last night. 5 stars. I read the majority of the book in one sitting. I got to page 150-ish on holiday, and then yesterday I binged through the rest of it, and it's just under 500 pages. It's like 498, I think. So that's that. I see why everyone's desperate for the next book. The last line. But I love the way the book ended. it had such a good ending. I'm not going to spoil what the ending was, but I personally loved it. Now listen, is the book revolutionary? Like, is it mind-blowing, going to change the world? No, it's not. Are there tropes in there that we've seen in fantasy, other fantasy books over and over again? Yeah. I've seen it compared to like Divergent and things like that. I've compared it to these like death game shows. There's loads of things you can compare it to, but I still think it stands on its own, and I don't feel every piece of media we consume needs to change the world. It doesn't need to be revolutionary. We consume these things for entertainment, and that's exactly what I got. That's what I got. So I'm happy, I don't care. Let me know down below if you've read Fourth Wing yet, if you're excited to get to it, if it holds no interest for you at all, if you just don't want to read it. If you didn't like the book, if you loved the book, if you hated the book, just leave your thoughts down below.